Shalom, Israel. My name is Officer Kayad, one out of I.S.U.P.K, Jamaica. I.S.U.P.K started 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. I.S.U.P.K is run by Commanding General YAHANNA, the one man with the rank and the authority to lead Israel at this time. I say, Yahweh Basham, Yahweh Shai Brakatam to my brothers. Yahweh Shamar Alatan Basham, Yahweh Shai Slakia, Yahweh Shai to my sisters. All right. We are up on the topic today on women, you understand, and why we as Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian men must not, you know what I mean, make a woman demasculate or emasculate, you know what I mean, us as men, you understand, because it's a very dangerous thing, you know what I mean, and it's a lesson, it's a bad lesson you teach, one, to your woman, to your wife, and two, to the children, you understand. So without further ado, we're going to jump in on some scriptures for show you where the Bible really say a woman's position is. You understand? And to show you that the Most High is not in support of any of our daughters of Zion being whores. You understand? And trust me, it might be simple in today's society because now it is being pushed for our women, our sisters to be whores in the society. You know what I mean? But it's a very dangerous thing when a woman become a whore. You understand? I'm going to show you in another video. You see? All right, so the first scripture we are going to pull is 1 Corinthians 11:3. And this is what it says. But I would have you know that the head of every man is Christ. So the head of every Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian is Yahweh Shai Mashiach, which the world called Jesus. Right? And the head of every woman is the man. And this is where the Christian church is not teaching our people and society upon a whole. Yeah, them say the man are the head of the household, but in society and in the culture that is being spread throughout society, they must say, yo, man and woman is basically equal. But they need to come back to them teaching and the scripture will say the man is the head of the woman. You know what I mean? And that is very important. You know what I mean? For the man understand and for the woman understand, because that is a rank and order structure. You know what I mean? And anything when I have no kind of structure tend to fall apart. You understand? This is the source of every woman happiness, you know. You know what I mean? Because them love to talk about happiness. You know what I mean? Our sisters, them love to talk about happy. You know what I mean? But them don't know say, if them don't make the man them head, meaning them leader, meaning them master, them lord. You understand? Not somebody with them equal to, but somebody who rule over them and tell them what to do. Then them not go happy. You understand? Them not go happy. So we want our women, our sisters to come back to these laws, statutes, and commandments, because rest assured, no woman no want a weak man. You understand? And them know that. But yet still, them you can't balance the scale away. You can't happy with a weak man. You understand? That's why the real men are the most are in the I.S.U.P.K. So we implore our women to come and learn, you know what I mean? Come make we re-educate, you know. Come to the I.S.U.P.K, make we re-educate, you know, because, you know, in this world, you know what I mean, with the white man way of life being, you know what I mean, spread throughout our society, you know, have become dragons, monsters in this society, and a detriment to the children. You understand? And that is a fact. You get me? Next scripture I'm going to jump to is this. 1 Corinthians 14:34. And this is what it says. Let your woman keep silence in the church. You don't really see that in the Christian church, right? Because the woman upon the pulpit a preach and everything. She's the teacher in the Christian church. But you see in the I.S.U.P.K, our woman, them sit down and them listen. Them take instructions and them follow orders with the man, with them husband give them, or any one of the teacher them give them. You know what I mean? Any one of the priests and prophets, you know what I mean, of the Most High and the commanding general, you and give them. You get what me I say? We have that order here in the I.S.U.P.K. Salakia. You get what me I say? But in the Christian church, you see where boy, you know what I mean, woman, them basically run the church. You know what I mean? And if it's a male pastor, well, it is basically them pimp. Them do exactly what him say and don't follow them husband at home. They don't listen to anything where them husband tell them a yard. So basically what me I try to say is, a man need for a black, Hispanic, and Native American man need to take him rightful place. Because we see we are too much of our sisters thinking it is okay for them to be whores. And you see, if you make them attitude, you know what I mean, grow in our sisters, them become such a terrible monster. You see, based off of seeing, you know what I mean, with my own two eyes. You get to me, I say? So you don't want to teach, like the scripture say, you don't want to teach your woman, you know what I mean, your wife, a bad lesson. I'm paraphrasing. You see, let me see if we can find that scripture there. You understand? And this is what that scripture says. It said, be not jealous over the wife of thy bosom, and teach her not an evil lesson against thee. All right. So what this is really saying is, right, if you have a woman and you see that she's being playing the harlot, you know what I mean, sleeping with other men, you know what I mean, in many cases you only suspect, you understand? In some cases, them, you know what I mean, if you become, what I call it, weak to that woman, you know what I mean, making certain things pass, you understand? Then she become more bold with it, you know what I mean? And if you make this slide, you understand, overlook it and still go back to that woman, you know what I mean? That is you being jealous over the wife of your bosom, meaning you make she get away with that, which is like getting away with murder. You understand? If you do that, your teacher an evil lesson about yourself. Your teacher say you're weak. You understand? And what you think I go happen? You think one day she go realize say you're one good man, and then say, you know what, me I treat your body no so. You know what I mean? A time for me change. It will get worse and worse and worse. You know what I mean? To the point where she want to put you out of your own place. You understand? And you know what I mean? We there and live to see the Bible manifest, you see, before our eyes, You see what I say? Yes, so you know want to teach a woman them kind of lesson there, that she can get away with anything. I will not say you must put your hand by your woman neither. But if you find out say you have a wife and she's a whore, what you supposed to do? You must make sure go on. You can't take back a whore. A woman can't sleep with an next man and then come sleep with you, brother. You know what I mean? That is you committing adultery. You understand? Because when she go sleep with her next man, she become that next man's wife, because sex is marriage. You understand? And that we need to understand, because the Christian church now educate to people on what marriage is. Them think, you know what I mean? Marriage is when you put a ring by your finger. But when you sleep with a woman that is married, you understand? That is marriage. You know what I mean? And if our young ladies and our young men would know this, then we would have many more less unwanted pregnancy and less of our sisters becoming whore. You understand? Because if a woman knows that the first man she lose her virginity to, then is her husband for the rest of her life, and her family them reinforce it and make sure say, yo, this is the case, She would think twice before she have sex with anybody. But because the Christian church teacher said, yo, marriage is not until you put a ring on your finger. Then our daughters them, our sisters them go and sleep with every man them can find. Like the scripture say, open up them quiver to every arrow. Then every man where them can find. Then and still don't believe that they are married and still waiting for her husband. And by the time she reached that man who willing to put a ring on her finger, she's this, you know what I mean, we call it this big whore. You understand? And can't be faithful to him neither and end up destroy that brother. You get what I say? And one of the main reasons why you must not make, you know what I mean, your woman sleep on you and you take her back is, what are you teaching your children? Especially if you have daughters, right? And normally the children tends to know what go on, is you not really know what go on. The children see what go on, you understand? But what are you teaching those kids? That a woman can sleep on a man, take him for fool, you know what I mean, and you take her back. You teach your daughters that it is okay to be a whore, and she go come become a worse whore than her mother. And you teach your sons to accept it and become weak. You understand? Yeah, man, that is what you do. All right, let me jump to another scripture. This is the book of 1 Timothy, chapter 2, And we are 11 now, we are go to 12. Salakia. Let the woman learn in silence with all subjection. Right? So, you know what I mean? This is telling you the place of a woman, that her job is to listen and not to always be speaking and talking like our woman them, you know what I mean, behave. You understand? Always talking and trying to talk over the man, cussing to the point of even fighting like they are men. You understand? In many cases, you are war with your woman like how you are war an ex-man. You have to fling stone and all them things which I'm not condoning or anything like that. But because our women have become so masculine, you understand? Is as if you're fighting with a man. You understand? Because them are the one them who are fling the liquor first in many cases. You get to me, I say? You understand? So, the scripture tell you what place a woman is to have, which is to, you know what I mean, learn in silence. Mean your job is to learn, not to teach. So the man is there to teach you and make you know, say, this is how, you know what I mean, we are going about certain situation. This is what you're supposed to do. This is what you're not supposed to do. You must follow the instruction of your husband. You understand? Continue reading. Verse 12, but I suffer not a woman to teach. And the Most High know why him said that, which this is Paul speaking, Paul is a prophet of the Most High, You understand? So, the Most High know why he says these things. You get to me, I say? Because it is not a woman's job to be leading. You understand? And if you give the woman the illusion that she is able to lead, you know what I mean? You know where she going to lead you. You understand? She going to lead you to destruction. You understand? So, we implore our women to come to the I.S.U.P.K to learn them rightful place according to the word of the Most High and to learn how to be subjected to your husband. You understand? And to not be this loudmouth dragon going about destroying lives and destroying your family and destroying your husband. You understand? And watch this. And I've said this in a previous video. You know what I mean? And this is the danger of a woman being a whore. You see, a whore will never keep the man in the house. See? Because any sensible man are going to know, say, boy, this is a dishonorable thing him woman are going with. So if him find out, say, you know what I mean, this woman here is a whore, him will leave. See? And in many cases, him will doubt whether or not them children they are fame. You understand? And whether that left the children them without a father or a male role model. Right? So watch her now. If she even bring a next man in the house, if she have daughters, you see what I say? That next man don't have the connection like where father have to that young girl, as she grow, You know what I mean? You run the risk of that young girl getting molested. And in many cases, even the boy them. You understand? So where you find out, what is the result of that? Homosexuality. When children get molested, then become sexually confused as they grow. And then become homosexuals. The women become, the young girls become lesbians, and the boys become, you know what I mean, effeminate homosexuals. Chichi man. You get to me, I say? That is the destruction of a whore. You understand? What is next? What is the next one? What is the next disadvantage of a woman being a whore? As I say, with no male role model, the children tend to do as them please. By them reach certain age, mother can't tell them nothing. The strength of the father would have enforced. The mother can't do it. So, with the boy, him run the risk of going into bad company. You understand? Following the wrong company, picking up crime. Zine? And contribute to, you know what I mean, the violence and murder. Become bad man, gunman. You understand? Many of these quengers where you see in a society, you know what I mean, if not 90% of them are even more, them grow with their mother alone. You understand? And the mother raised them and not them father. Not for them tell you say you're single parents them grow with. Mother alone. You understand? And many of them mother are what? Or, you understand? And we not completely knock with sister them and put the full blame, you know what I mean, but we sister them for say, boy, the lifestyle there is 100% their fault. Because if our men would stop loving whores and stop, you know what I mean, being unbrotherly to an ex-brother by sleeping with his woman, being more, what I call it now, Slakia, being more prudent in how you pick women, find out her background and find out if she have a husband before you go into her. If our brothers would do that brotherly act, then we'd have less whore. Then our woman them would have to just understand and know, say, yo, you can't just go about and sleep with anybody you feel like. You understand? They would have know that. But because we as men, we are so, you know what I mean, lustful, then the woman them become, you know what I mean, disloyal. Because them not see no loyalty in us. You know what I mean? No brotherhood amongst us as men. You understand? She know, you know, she have a husband and you still a looker. You understand? She don't see no loyalty in you towards your brother. I mean, I mean your literal brother, matter like an ex-black man, an ex-black Hispanic and native Indian man. See? She know, even though she might give in to, you know what I mean, all of your attempts, she have it in her back of her head, say you're disloyal. You know what I mean? She know that. And she write off all men as disloyal. You get what me I say? So we need to stop, you know what I mean, sleeping with our brothers' wives and stop sleeping with whores and make our woman understand that that is a no-no, not acceptable. You know what I mean? Because as I say, a whore is very destructive. It's a very destructive force because a be a whore a grow the pitney them nowadays. You understand? You see the result. And we now put the full blame upon our sisters, as I say, we as the men, you know what I mean? We have to take responsibility for it as well, because if we never love whores, our women wouldn't become whores. See? And another thing, you know what I mean? The disadvantages that we as a nation suffer in a slavery till now and the oppression force our sisters to become whores. So what we have to go do as men now, we have to go build back the nation. We have to go come back to the last statutes and commandments of the Most High and fix back our people. You understand? So this can stop. You get what me I say? We have to cut certain things. We have to make certain things and and unacceptable within our society. We have to go put back morals within our society. You get what me I say? Yeah, man. Standards and live by them and don't be hypocrites. You understand? All right, so I'm going to jump to another scripture. And this is the book of Ephesians. Wives, submit yourselves unto your husband as unto the Lord. You understand? It says you must submit yourself to your husband, your man, as you would have submit to God or Yahweh, Salakia, Yahweh, Jesus. See? So you see the same respect where you give Jesus, you know what I mean, which you can't really give Jesus no respect, you know, because you never see him in a day in your life. Give it to your husband. You understand? This coincide with the scripture where say, he that say he love God and hate his brother is a liar. So if you say you love Jesus and you disrespect your man, he's a liar. Because you never see God one day in your life or Jesus one day in your life. So how you going to prove so you love Jesus? You going to prove by submitting yourself to your husband. All right. This is the book of Ecclesiastes 7:26, and this is what it says. And I find more bitter than death the woman whose heart is near a net, and her hands as bands. Whoso pleaseth God shall escape from her, but the sinner shall be taken by her. And many of us are sinners, you know, you see? And that is the reason why we end up with dragons. You understand? And as the scripture make you know what I mean? Him find more bitter than death. This is Solomon speaking. More bitter than death, meaning this is worse than death. A woman, a wicked woman whose heart is snare and nets. You know what I mean? And many men can attest to that. Living with this dragon that you have to war with every day. You understand? And you teaching her this wicked lesson by she going out, sleeping out and coming back inside your house. You understand? She basically going to take your soul, brother. And when I say put your hand on the woman, but you know what I mean? You can't live with something like that. Either you have to go or she have to go. You understand? And if it means if she have to go, you have to hurt her, you leave. But don't teach your children that it is okay for a woman to be a whore. You understand? Yeah, man. All right. The next scripture we have a pull is Proverbs 31:10, which says, who can find a virtuous woman? Is a question. Who can find one? For her price is far above rubies. You know what I mean? Like you can't really, you know what I mean? A diamond is very rare if you're supposed to dig the earth to find one, or a ruby. That is how rare a virtuous woman is in them time. Because society push, you know what I mean, whoredom within the entertainment, the media, social media, everywhere. So if your little daughter, we don't know nothing about them, something there, I grew up thinking it's okay. You understand? So who can find a virtuous woman? The only place you can find a virtuous woman is in the I.S.U.P.K and the Commanding General, Your Honor, because we create virtuous women by bringing them back to the last statutes and commandments of this Bible. Of course, they weren't born and grew up, they never grew up virtual, but them come to the I.S.U.P.K and them change over them life. You know what I mean? Not like how the Christian church do it. You know what I mean? Pretending to be righteous, but sleeping around with everybody in the church. But actually keeping these laws because there's discipline in the I.S.U.P.K. You understand? And there's protocol and nobody can breach it. You know what I mean? If you breach it, you're out. You get to me, I say? Yeah, man. So you come in and you learn the right way. You understand? And you keep it sincerely. You get me? All right, watch this. We're going to jump to a scripture in Exodus chapter 21:10. And this is what it says. If he take him another wife, her food, her raiment, and her duty of marriage shall not diminish. This is a law, and it tell you say if a man take another wife, the first wife, food and raiment must not be diminished. What I'm trying to say with this is, many of our women think it's okay because our husband or our man, you know what I mean, as society call it, have an ex-woman. So she think that is okay for her to go and be a whore. But this law is making you know that it is okay for a man to have more than one wife. So there's no excuse for you to go and be a whore. There's none. So if you see say your man have an ex-woman, it is his right to have an ex-woman. You, on the other hand, don't have the right to have more than one man. You understand? Because you can't serve two masters. And it is the man that, it is the woman that serve the man. So how you go serve two masters? Is either you go love one or you go hate one, like what the scripture say. And in many cases, when you cheat on your husband and when you hate him, I want to know the thing already. All right. The next scripture is Ecclesiasticus 25:30. Then we are going to verse, we are going to do 13 and 16. And this is what it says. Give me any plague but the plague of the heart, and any wickedness but the wickedness of a woman. Right? So the scripture make you know how wicked a woman is and can be. And we now go sugarcoat it. We are making you know straight. We now sugarcoat it. We see it. You know what I mean? But society tend to turn a blind eye when, you know what I mean, any atrocities is being committed by our women. You know what I mean? Because for some reason a woman do no wrong. But we now go sugarcoat it. Our women are dragons. There's, you know what I mean? Studies show that there is like what, 22,000 illegal abortion that take place within Jamaica. Right? Every year, there about an average 22,000 illegal abortion. What that mean? That is 22,000 babies being murdered by who? Not by our men, by the woman them. So what is the murder rate last year? The murder rate last year was what? 1,300 and something. And you tell me say, on average every year our woman them kill 22,000 baby in illegal abortion. That's why the scripture say there is no wickedness. Let me read it. And any wickedness but the wickedness of a woman, because our women, you know who them kill? Babies. And it is the oppressor making our woman think that it is okay if you kill them own babies because them in a poverty. But just to show you the conscience that, you know what I mean, our women are lacking because they are not keeping the laws of the Most High. Because of, you know what I mean, we being destroyed here in this wicked kingdom. You understand? That's why we implore you to come to the ISUPK and come out of the Christian church. Because the Christian church have made, monsters. You understand? Continue reading. I'd rather dwell with a lion and a dragon than to keep house with a wicked woman. And this is the Bible. And this is Solomon speaking. So may I say, you understand? So any woman where, you know what I mean, where really want to do better and knows the society will lead them astray, even from your child. I will know many I want to go through some atrocities as children, you know. You see, where, you know what I mean, no for want to get molested, you know what I mean. And that is not for no fault. But you have to be strong. You have to be strong and fight the you know what I mean, this wicked society. And don't subject yourself because of the hurt and the pain where you go through and because of what society is forcing on you. You understand? You have to fight it. You know what I mean? Because watch this. If you were molested when you're little, that is no excuse for you to become a bad person when you're big. That is no excuse for you to become worse than how you started. You know what I mean? That is encouragement for you to become better and try improve your life despite the fact that you were violated when you did young. You understand? And that is what we encourage in the ISUPK and a command in general, Your Honor. You see it? So, you know what I mean? To any woman who want to really fix themselves, any black, Hispanic, or native woman here in Jamaica who want to fix themselves, come to the ISUPK, Jamaica, learn. You understand? Learn these laws, statutes, and commandments and help, make we help you fix on yourself. Make the Most High fix on you. You understand? Yeah, man. Don't continue in this part where the Most High will punish you for. Most High will destroy you. You see the diseases where you accumulate and pass on and spread because of our lifestyle. Because, you know what I mean? Many of our sisters are living a Wh0re lifestyle. You get to me, I say? We don't want to continue that way because we know that on our daughters of Zion, and the scripture said there should be no Wh0res of the daughters of Zion. I'm paraphrasing. You understand? Yeah, man. So come to the ISUPK, make you fix you know. Make you show you how to behave, how to conduct yourself like, you know what I mean, like princess and not Wh0res. Because a Wh0re get no respect in society. I want to see that. I want to get this and violate every day because nobody respects a Wh0re. Nobody. A man might want to have sex with a Wh0re, but him no love one. And that you need to understand. All right, so my name is Officer Kayadwan out of I.S.U.P.K, Jamaica. Remember to like the video, share, subscribe to this channel and click the notification bell for every time a new video is uploaded or we go live. You understand? Pay on the tithes. The information is on the screen. Or you can go to I.S.U.P.K Jamaica, select your ISUPK.com. You understand? Or blackwatch.news. You understand? Remember to subscribe to ISUPK, blackwatch.news or blackwatch news on YouTube. That's Command in General, Your Honor's new channel. You understand? So, you know what I mean? You know the thing already. We will keep it honest. You see? And with that, SHALAM.